Hi, I'm Robin.
Hi, and I'm Bill.
Welcome to Not the Retirement Show. Today we're talking about 5 tips for financing a business in retirement. So, Bill, I have done a little bit of research for this one.
Whoa.
And I have looked on the internet to see what some of the financial gurus advise. And I'm going to ask you your personal opinion about all of these, your advice. Having said that, we need to remind everybody that we are not certified financial planners, and that the information that we share so everybody can be better informed. But we always recommend that you go and chat with a certified financial planner before making any big retirement business decisions. Having said that, idea number 1 for financing a retirement business is to use your personal savings. Are you for or against that?
Both.
Okay. Explain in 2,000 words or less.
In the retirement years, you do not have a regular income over and above private pension, government pension, whatever sort of thing, some savings, dividends, interest, etc. If you have enough to live on for the rest of your life, and that could be 10, 15, 20 years, whatever that may be, with some idea of what your future expenses are going to be looking like. If you've got enough and you've still got some left over, then by all means you can use your savings. Okay, but if you use your savings and reduce your income, in other words, you take value of an investment portfolio, to put into the new business, and thereby reducing the investment income coming out of that amount of money you took out, then you have to seriously think about it, because that may cut you short in terms of income for the rest of your life.
Okay, so that was going to be my question number 2, borrowing from your investment portfolio, or as American friends would say, your 401k. So be careful about that one. Getting a loan, for or against?
Once again, everything comes down to numbers. 2 + 2 is 4, doesn't matter how you look at it. Getting a loan, first and foremost, you have to, if you go for a bank loan, you have to prove that, you can repay it. So it's not just a case of walking into the bank and saying, give me $100,000 or whatever sort of thing. Why do you want it? How are you going to pay it back? What collateral are you going to give? So it's not an easy thing in the first place. In the second place, if you think that you can get a loan, then you do want to look at obviously the payback, because you don't want to be carrying that liability with you for the rest of your life. In theory, or at least ideally, you're hoping that the business that you're going to go into is going to generate revenue to give you an income over and above the liability, and also to be able to pay off the loan. So it's not I don't think it's a simple yes or no. I think it's give it consideration. Is that a viable source of financing? Well, absolutely, it's a viable source, but be careful how you do the arithmetic.
I agree. My next one is whether or not it's a good idea to use your home equity to get a line of credit to start a retirement business. And I think you better explain to everybody, what is the difference between a line of credit and a loan?
Well, a line of credit is really that, the bank, most cases, the bank will say, okay, we'll give you an overdraft facility of X number of dollars, securitized by some collateral. Now, the example you're giving is home equity. Again, it's a personal choice. Personally, I would not do that. I would not put the home equity, into the pot. Now, I suppose you can argue that if, because of your age and stage in life and where you are with the mortgage, perhaps ideally you've paid off the mortgage, so that the value of the house is all of home equity, and maybe there's a little bit extra there, so to speak, then you can slice a little piece off the top by way of collateral for the line of credit or for the loan. A loan is just simply you go to the bank, you get the money, it's in your bank account, and that's it. Whereas the line of credit or the overdraft is you have the ability to spend up to that level, that limit through the business bank account. So they're very similar, but there are certain legal issues, differentiating between them.
I'm going to add one small thing to all of that, which I agree with. If you are going down the home equity line of credit path, and they're going to give you a document with very small print and 12 to 20 pages, make sure that you read it and understand it and ask a lot of questions before you sign it, because in some instances, the home equity line of credit is payable on demand. And what that essentially means in layman's terms is that, yes, the bank is letting you have use of this money because you have equity in your house, but they also can demand partial or full repayment on 30 days notice at any point in the future. In other words, for whatever reason, you could wind up owing all of the money on 30 days notice, which might be fine, but make sure you understand the intricacies of the terms of this kind of financing opportunity.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right, obviously, but I think most financial institutions these days would understand that, even they say, look, it's payable on demand within 30 days or something like that. Yeah, I think most financial institutions will say, okay, all right, let's come to some arrangement. Can you pay it over 3 months or 6 months or, 2 years or something? So I don't think it's a, boom, situation where you go today, tomorrow sort of thing. I think if you go and explain it and you're reasonable in your argument and so on and so forth, then I think most financial institutions would play with you.
That might very well be true. Obviously, people from all around the world watch our show. We can't be experts on what they do in your hometown. So just make sure you understand what they do at your bank in your hometown and what you're getting into. My last one. What about using the family credit cards to finance your business opportunity?
No.
Okay. I mean, because that seems like a no-brainer to a lot of people, especially if you've worked all your life and now you have 5 major credit cards sitting in your wallet, and you have quite a lot of space available on some of them.
Well, a couple of reasons. One is that typically, the amount of credit that you've got on your credit card won't be enough to start a new business.
Depending on the business.
It depends on the business, obviously. But, if you've got a credit card limit of $5,000, you're not going to start a big business with $5,000. And probably, on the day you decide to go into a new business, probably a lot of that has already been eaten up. So there's maybe only a couple of thousand left on the 5,000 limit. So that's not good, that's just not a good idea. And obviously the payback thing, credit card interest and, fees and all that kind of stuff make it. So please don't, by all means pay for expenses of the business. You've got to go and buy new tools, or you've got to, get a new service, you've got to get digital or software or whatever. I mean, that's fine. You use a credit card for something like that. Make sure it's actually in the accounts of the business, of course, but, that's okay. But to start your business, to finance your business from the get-go, no.
I have to say, I agree. Tempting as it might be to start your cupcake business with your credit cards, you have no idea how long it's going to take you to start to make income to pay off that credit card. It's a very, very high-priced loan option. Well, if you're still watching, we must have said something helpful or interesting. So please consider subscribing to our channel, and we'll chat with you again soon. Take care, everyone.